And welcome back to Liquid Lunch. It's me, Hugh Riley. Welcome back to the show. And we're joined here at the table by Jake Tiley, a market technician, right, Jake?
Seems to be working.
And you're here from Soft Analytics, and we're just looking at the website here. And as you can see, it's an exclusive community with some refined data and philosophy, right, Jake?
Totally. We like to bring the Tolstoy when we can.
Tolstoy. Okay, I don't get that reference, but
Pierre Betsuhov in War and Peace. He's at the Battle of Borodino with the French and the Russians, and he reaches into the ground and he goes, "What is life?" And he's feeling the earth. And I was going to say when you introduced me earlier, welcome to the Renaissance.
Okay, is it a Renaissance, Jake? Because a lot of people are trying to figure out what they're going to do with their portfolios, and I understand that you and Soft Analytics is a little bit about, it's kind of like Bloomberg for the common man, and everybody is trying to navigate their way through these turbulent markets.
Yeah, when I was at a wedding this past weekend, over 500 wonderful guests for a friend of mine and a beautiful wife, I was continually asked, what should I do? And these are people that know what markets are about, and they know how to operate, and they have probably investable assets of over 500,000 plus. So the average common man probably doesn't have that in his portfolio and is still questioning, what do I do? Whom do I trust? And what can I do going forward to protect me, my family, and position for greater wealth going forward? Mm-hmm. So Soft Analytics was created for that purpose, to protect, prepare, and profit for the future.
Okay, so I guess that begs the question: what do people do, or how do they even think about approaching this market? And I'm just going to tell you a little story. I was talking to a friend who's involved in the market, and he was saying that his perception, and he's a smart guy, that it's like there are big players out there that are just not letting the little guy prosper. There's market manipulation happening at high levels. And how do you see things in that sense?
I've always seen that the market is being manipulated at high levels. So last week I came on and share with you that the Wall Street is the street where they fool people.
Yeah.
And they fool them well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they get paid to fool them well. In this current climate, cashy and cautious is a really nice way to go to bed with your head intact and not to be worried, and to just position for the future. When there's real trouble in the landscape or the marketplace or the markets, as I live in them, then that's a little opportunity for you to go and buy something that you may believe in. Mm-hmm. I find that people, when they make their first mistake in the market, they become really smart going forward in their next purchase. Mm-hmm. And first loss is the best loss. It's sort of like, jump from the frying pan into the fire, get a little burn, take a chance, learn what it's about, and you'll be better for it. And I can say that to everyone in the community.
Okay, and I was talking to somebody else yesterday, and they were saying that they're getting some advice that it's not a great time to be in equities, and they're moving money over into the bond markets. And I'm just wondering what your take is on that.
Well, the bond market certainly is in the U.S. Has been acting very, very strong. At points like this, fundamentally, it might be a little dangerous. However, if you look at what they are looking in their horizon, and I don't know their time frame and their risk objective and know your client rule, as I am not an investment advisor representative, registered representative, investment representative, or whatever word they want to say in a institutional form, I can say that cashy and cautious, invest in yourself, invest in Mandarin, school for your kids on Saturday mornings and afternoons, little things like that, as well as read the business section every day for about 15 minutes, and you'll you'll start to see how the world works to fool you, and then you'll zig when they're zagging, and you'll zag when they're zigging.
No, really? Because will people really learn that, though? Because it seems to me that certain people have a propensity or a skill set that allows them to kind of read between the lines of what's going on. Other people, they read the Globe Financial or the Financial Post, and they are really just taking it at face value that this is really what's going on in the market.
If it's on the newsprint today, it's already happened, so do the opposite is a good rule of thumb. Mm-hmm. And if it's talking about the bailouts are going to save the world, then be very careful. If they're saying that there's no hope left and the economies are going to teeter, then you can add to your positions in food, in agriculture. 10 years out, these little companies or these ETFs called exchange-traded funds that act like stocks that hold various companies in them, called ETFs, they will probably outperform the market by about 10% per year for the next 10 years.
So it sounds like what you're saying is the markets are still the markets. Doomsday is not here. There are good companies, and you just have to kind of be prudent when you're choosing
it's money. That's why they call it money, right? I mean, what was that movie with Danny DeVito and Gene Hackman, The Heist? So you have to be prudent, but you also have to be. I understand that the constituents of this community are fearful. That's why your forum, that's why Bloomberg for the Common Man came about, and that's why the net is one of the most powerful places to get your information regarding what you should do with your money and how you can preserve it, protect it, and profit from it in the future.
Well, it kind of reminds me that, people are talking about the market volatility, and things never stay the same. There's always new factors, like whether that's computer trading, or whether that's bailouts, whether that's collapsing Eurozone. Things are changing, and you have to think differently. The old rules won't work well necessarily in the new environment. And so it seems to me people also might need to rethink their strategies.
What happened after the Renaissance, Hugh?
Let's see now. I don't know if I remember. Which part of after the Renaissance?
I do remember something called the Reformation. So if people are ready to go back to the history books and learn about Europe, this was expected. Europe has trouble getting along with its neighbors at the best of times, let alone when money is being sloshed around from country to country, to give the idea that it's fun to travel for the Olympics in London very shortly.
Okay, so what does that mean, Jake?
It means that you just have to spend time, 15 minutes a day, looking at a site like minionville.com to give you a bit of understanding on the markets, going to your report on business, which I read religiously, and I don't look at any other parts of the paper. Then I can do that in 15 minutes on the ROB and the Globe and Mail. And I will see how they're talking about the economy and markets. And when they're zigging, I'm zagging. And when they're zagging, I'm zigging. So if they're telling you that the bottom is in, it's possible the boat has a leak. And if they tell you the bottom isn't in, it's possible that you can get a short-term trade in a half-decent company like Manulife Financial, which is going to trade higher over the next 10 years for its operations in Europe and in Asia, and in stuff like, potash is going to be bought out shortly. The companies that provide food, provide agricultural services, and also in other areas in terms of if we go into a recession, you're going to want to own stuff like Weston and Loblaws, and those companies will do well over a protracted slower growth.
All right, and now you mentioned something about the stock network as well. Do you want to just
30% plus of traders and investors in North America trade off of discount brokerage online. So Stock Network is a place where you can retrieve the information on these public companies 2 years back without getting called in from the company or trying to be brought to learn more about the company. Stock Network provides a great site for you to research the company through different ways of looking for the company. You might know if it's in Timmins, if it's a gold property, or if it's a green company, if it's something in Latin America or in Canada. And its search tools allow you to navigate asking questions about public companies. Like I said, with 2 years removed news releases, which is quite nice in a non-invasive format.
Okay. And in terms of soft analytics, like who really should think about getting in touch with you? And
everybody at the in the community understands that I will only answer questions when you send me an email. And if you want to meet or have a phone conversation, we can do that. But I will only send you feedback once you send it. Other than that, I may send a note saying welcome to the Renaissance.
Okay, so that's good news. Renaissance is coming.
Get ready, prepare. There was something called the Reformation after. Look in the history books and see what we can do together as a community and where we can grow.
And you can make money.
We can make money by preserving our capital, by protecting it, and 5 to 10% of any portfolio is a good place to put in highly risky investments that are strategically thought out, and over the next 2-3 years that should give you some additional funds for your kids' college education, which is really important for me to emphasize.
Okay. All right, Jack. Great having you on the show as always. Thanks
Bloomberg
for doing
for
this.
The Common Man was born through your pursuits here, and I appreciate you putting your time and your money into this venture.
Okay. Well, thanks. Nice to hear that, Jake. Thanks for doing this. And we're going to take a little break and come back in a couple of minutes with more Liquid Lunch right here on thatchannel.com. See you then.